often think of Charles Oliveira and his jiu-jitsu, Khabib and his wrestling, and Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira with their striking. Well, what happens when someone specializes in one singular technique? I present to you Dominck Reyes, who has mastered the pull counter. Now, as a southpaw, the left cross is your best friend, and when you have a long frame for the division and some good power behind it, you can become an excellent counterpuncher, and that's exactly what Dominck Reyes has done. He often plays the back foot game, drawing his opponents in, and he'll either just take a little step back as they swing and counter with the left hand, or he'll put pressure on his opponents, wait till they try to come off the cage, and then he'll hit them with the left hand, just moving straight back, getting ever so slightly out of the way. Now, this is a pretty standard way to do the pullback left counter. He'll also mix it up with uppercuts as well, like he did against Jared Cannonier. But what makes Dominck Reyes' pullback counter so special is that it's not just back. He pulls back and then he pivots laterally. It's a very, very important thing. He essentially switches his feet to get a profile view on his opponent. And it's essentially, think of it like this. If you move straight back and then counter, it's like a head-on collision. If we're thinking car crash, it's like a head-on collision. But if you take out the angle and hit them from the side, it's like you're T-boning somebody. And obviously, if you take out the angle and hit someone from the side, you're going to do more damage because your opponent doesn't see where the punch is coming from. And two, you can kind of pick your shots quite a bit better. You can land it on the chin cleaner, and it just causes so much more damage, and it allows you to be safer. Because a good example would be Conor McGregor versus Jose Aldo. If you watch the replay, Aldo lands a pretty big left hook on Conor in the process, right? It's fine because, Conor landed his left hand and knocked Aldo out. But there is room to get caught. When you take off the angle, that completely eliminates it, and even if the left hand doesn't knock out your opponent, you still have the superior angle. If they're rocked, they still need time to reset their feet and get their bearings about them when you can just keep pressuring. He does this pivot against Chris Weidman, where he'll draw Chris Weidman into the fence. He'll then pivot off, left hand, drops him. He did this against Yuri Prohashka, drawed him, to the fence, right? Dominck Reyes on the back foot, pivoted off, left hand, rocked him really badly, right? Did this against Dustin Jacoby as well when he finally, got back in the wing column. Jacoby putting pressure on the fence, long combinations, overswinging. Dominck Reyes pivots, hits with the left hand on the back foot. Same with Vincent Peru. I know that wasn't classified as a KO, but, it should be. Draws Peru into the fence, pivots, left hand, pretty much knocks him out. He will counter like that on the front foot, most notably against Nikita Krylov, where Krylov was just swinging in with blitzing combinations, and he just took a little step back, nailed him. But he draws out the movement with pressure, right? Because if you're pressuring someone against the fence, there's only one way for them to go, and that's forward most of the time. And so that just draws it out, nails on the counter. And he did this a lot in his amateur career and his early UFC career, but just forcing out certain footwork habits in his opponent and then exploiting them. Like against Cannonier will almost shift and roll constantly into his shots, right? He'll have his feet under him, but he will shift and roll, and he has a habit of it. So Reyes, notice that, took an angle out the other way. Normally, he'll take an angle out to his own left, right? Against Cannonier, he took an angle out to the right and hit him with the uppercut. Now, normally, it'd be easier to take the angle out to your right because you don't have to step across. But Reyes actually likes going out to the left more, which is more dangerous, but it seems to work for him, lines up more power. But it's just very impressive how Dominck Reyes has built pretty much his entire game off of one technique, and is just able to execute it with such skill. Whether that's due to, Reyes' incredible footwork, which I do think is actually pretty impressive and really underrated, or just, again, a lot of light heavyweights overextending on their shots and being open for the counter. It's really, really impressive. And again, as a southpaw, as a counterpuncher, if you are one, I really do recommend taking notes, looking at how Reyes pivots out, because he doesn't step his right foot across to pivot. He will just almost like shift his hips a little bit and scoot out. It's very subtle, but very important. And it's really important for getting out of the way of strikes, as if you're a counterpuncher, you want to be out of the way of the puncher so you can deliver with as much power as possible and not get hit. Yeah. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to break down Dominck Reyes' pull counter, because obviously we saw him get an amazing KO last weekend at UFC 314. You guys know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed. See ya.